Well, over the past few weeks, ladies and gentlemen, we've been featuring Feng Shui consultant Joey Yap's unique excursion to Taiwan.
We learned how Yin House Feng Shui, a study of selecting a burial spot based on the elements, can affect one's lineage and even fortune.
So this week, Yap takes us to two places, a temple that's popular with those seeking blessings of wealth. And
I need that.
And a sacred place which houses the renowned Buddhist Education Center.
Here's a look at his story.
You'll need that as well.
In Feng Shui, yin houses represent tombs and burial places. At the risk of being morbid in nature, it is believed to be important to study the landform formations of ancestral yin houses, as it may affect the future generations. Recently, Joey Yap, renowned Feng Shui consultant, had an excursion trip to Taiwan. The trip brought along 40 office students from around the world to study the effects of the land formations of burial places of politicians and famous figures towards their descendants. In the last 4 episodes, we brought you to the memorial halls of Taiwan's most influential politicians, places of worship, and other burial places. This time, we will continue our excursion trip to visit 2 very sacred places to study the effects of Feng Shui. The first destination of our 5-day excursion trip was to the famous Jinshan Chaishen Temple, or the God of Wealth Temple. Located in the Jinshan district, this temple is a popular place for those who seek for blessings of wealth.
One of the interesting locations here is the famous God of Wealth Temple here in Taipei. And the reason I selected this location is because, wealth is one of the interesting things, or reason that people want to practice Feng Shui. So, what other good places can we look for other than the God of Wealth Temple, right? Now, obviously, some people come here to pray, but we came here to look at the Feng Shui. Why is this place so effective in terms of ushering wealth? Now, we look at the features. First thing, we're going to find whether the location that we are at have the energy or the life force energy or the chi that governs wealth. That's the first thing we want to look for. And the second thing we want to look for is whether that specific area can help the people who come there, will they benefit from that chi? So there are 2 reasons we look for this. So how do we achieve this? Number 1, we look at what are the forms, the mountain formations and the water formations that are present. Now, every formation that is natural is unique. You can never find the same thing anywhere else in the world, okay? Number 2, we want to match that form to the formula. We got to use calculations that's already pre-designed, all these formulas in Feng Shui. We take the formula and we match it to the forms, and if the 2 matches, that means the people in that area can benefit from the chi in that area. So now, when we were at the location of the temple, we discovered that the source dragon, meaning the main mountain formation, was a metal star. And from this metal star, it stretches out one of the arms of the mountain. It stretches out, very long arm, and it turns in at the direction of the snake. Now, when I say the direction of the snake, I meant the compass direction. In the compass, the Feng Shui compass, is any ordinary compass, is divided into 24 directions. 12 of these directions has got animal signs. So it comes in from the snake direction. So we call this formation the golden snake coming out from the cave formation. And because there are 4 animal signs that specifically relate to ushering of wealth very quickly. Number 1 is the snake, 2 is the pig, number 3 is the tiger, and then number 4 is the monkey. These 4 form an axis cross in the compass. It's opposite each other. And so happened that the location of this specific temple is sitting on the snake direction and facing to the pig direction, which has specific mountains, natural energy, locking in the chi from both sides. So with this specific effect, it ushers in wealth chi very, 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 very quickly.
The second destination was to the mountain called the Faku Mountain. This is a place where the Dharma Drum Mountain World Center is located at. Designed solely in teachings of Buddhism, this Buddhist education center has produced massive complex of monasteries and education centers.
We went to this place called the Dharma Drum Center of Buddhist Studies. Now, in this area here, it's one of the most popular education centers for Buddhist philosophy and education. Obviously, we went there for Feng Shui reasons, so we want to study the Feng Shui. Now, whenever we study the Feng Shui, we always look at the environment. One of the interesting things that when we got students here is they get to see that Feng Shui has nothing to do with the interior design, because this is a Zen place. And as Zen means, everything is clean and simple. There are no decorations, no little trinkets hanging anywhere. It's just landform Feng Shui, and that's really the real Feng Shui that we always talk about. Now, what is interesting here is the water formation from the water mountain. Now, water relates to arts. Behind the water was a wood staff. Okay, it's actually located on the left side of the formation. The left side of the formation is actually a wood star. We call it a greedy wolf star. Now, the name sounds a little bit funny. How can you call it greedy wolf? But that's the name of a star. It's actually called a wood star. Water plus wood, these two stars adding together always produce scholars, artistic people, talented and intelligent people. Now remember, when it comes to Feng Shui, we always have two things. Forms, what we see, formulas, what we calculate. Whenever a Feng Shui practitioner takes out a compass, he or she is using the formula. Whenever he is looking at the environment, the mountains and the water, he is looking at the forms. So forms plus formula together, if it matches, this area has the type of chi that can affect and help the people. So when we take out the measurement, we find that the nobleman star, which is wood element, the water star adding together, exits out at the dragon direction. With the education, with the scholarly pursuit, with all the research that's going on around this place, the people who graduate from this center goes out to save lives, meaning through education, through enlightenment, through their work.
Catch more about this interesting excursion trip with Joey up next week. To find out more about Joey Up Mastery Academy, viewers can visit www.joeyup.com/NTV7.
Joanne de Rosario, I think you need to go for a visit to the Temple of Wealth.
I need the chi.
I think you need the chi as well, with the dragon coming up from the snake direction, the golden snake coming up from the dragon cave.
You've lost me at snake.
I lost me at dragon as well. But, well, I mean, I'm sure there are many of you guys who found that very, very beneficial. Maybe a trip to Taiwan would further strengthen your belief in Feng Shui.
Personally, I do enjoy listening to Joey Up speak about Feng Shui, because he makes sense.
Yes, absolutely. He does make sense, especially when we talk about calculations and formulas. But, well, as the formulas are still boggling around in our brains, it's time for us to take another quick breather. But, of course, still to come.